that determines where you are going to go. In UKZN, I started with a whole bunch of people, like I said, who came from different surroundings. I, who was privileged, didn't end up doing accounting. But because Umganwami, he had a vision and understanding of what he wanted to do, and he knew that accounting was the thing that he loved. He is now a CA. And he's right here for Metro Zing, just to make you think about that, And so as I stand here, I thought, okay, I'll quickly take you through a presentation because I'm in IT and I have to have a presentation, just makes sense. But there are some things that I also want you to think about in the back end. So what is a career? It's an occupation or job for a significant period of a person's life with opportunities for progress. But I don't know about you, when I choose a career, if it's going to be for life or a significant part of my life, it's something that I need to think carefully about. Now, in IT, there's this cool thing that's been introduced called AI, and everybody likes it, there's always buzzwords, but there's this one cool thing that's been now being introduced called ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like Google on steroids. It's almost like talking to a matrix god. You can ask it anything and it will give you an answer. You can ask it, hey, write me a business plan. It can give you a business plan for whatever, if you have a marketing company, it'll give you a business plan. You can ask it to write code for a website, it will basically do that. It's the opportunities for it, if you know how to use it well, are endless. So, I started here. The first thing I thought in my head was like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write my presentation, but I'm like, no, let me not do that. That would be cheating. So I asked it, how many careers are there in the world? And that's just basically me just asking it that.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And it just spat out like a whole bunch of information. So it goes like to all the ends of the world of the internet, and then it gathers what it can and it makes some informed decisions, and then it just gave me like a whole lot. And I wanted something specific, but you have to know what to put in order to get out. So it just gave me a whole lot, and it didn't really give me numbers, in which then I told it to be like, okay, just give me a number. I want, I won't hold it to it. I was just being funny. And there are like 10,000 to 100,000 different careers in the world. So I'm not saying that this is very accurate, but when you think about that, it should invoke something in you, in that there are so many endless opportunities and possibilities in your career path, and that you need to take the time to think about what it is that you want. And like I said before, there are so many ways to get there. So I then further went and just to do my research and thought, okay, in my field in particular, and in the South African context, what is the job shortage currently in IT? And this is currently it. Software development, technical business architecture, database design, systems analysis, business analysts, and so forth. And I know right now, in particular at SPAR, we are seeing a need for project managers. That's also another scarcity in IT. So that's also something to think about. And then I went on further to look at South Africa and the employment. Currently in South Africa, I believe, from what I saw in the stats, there's a 32.9% unemployment rate, which is very, very high, I think, when you compare it to the other countries around the world. And it's like, that means for every 10 people, there are 3 or 4 people who are sitting there without jobs. And some of them are qualified. Some of them have gone to school, they've got their degrees, but something is just not lining up and they are not getting those jobs that they wanted. So I did a further search, and from my investigations, it seems like there's a disparity in South Africa as a whole of the skills that we have and the demand that's currently needed in the job sector. The level of education, sorry Dad, sometimes, there is that thing out there that says that the education system is letting people down, and then the innovation in which the person themselves, or the ability they have to transform themselves, also impacts that. Apartheid's after effects. I mean, I feel it as a black woman in my field of work. I go to meetings and I'm the only black person, and I'm the only female. And I work with huge logistics companies sometimes, and I'm like, they're speaking Afrikaans, and then I'm like, let's luister, ek nie verstaan nie. Let's bring it back to English, Some also blame it on the economy. Like, the list goes on. You can find so many reasons as to why so many people are unemployed. So, directly to you guys, what about you? What does this mean for you? In IT, if you know IT and you're passionate about it, or e-commerce, the most popular person is Steve Jobs. I'll say he made Apple famous. I won't say he created it, but one of the quotes that he said was, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And with that, and my first question, what about you? As I stand here, I do not have the answers about you or you or you and your career path, because it's different. We all have different circumstances in our lives that will determine where we go. We have different financial backgrounds. There's different things in the environment that can restrain or propel us forward, But at the end of the day, it's about you, the individual, who has an understanding of what's going on around them and has an attitude and has a willingness and a passion to do something about their lives. So, if you are financially fit, or your parents do have the financial backing to help you and take you to good schools and also to take you to varsity, then by all means do it. But don't just go get a degree because your friend is getting a degree. Actually study. Look, go to YouTube, go to Udemy, just find out, after this degree, what jobs can I actually get? And what does my career path look like? What do I want for me? If you don't have the financial backing, and NSFAS is not an option, because as we heard, NSFAS is a loan. Let's be honest about that. And you will be paying for it for quite a while, you know? Look at what's around you. I am going to refer to some of the black people in excellence that I've seen, that we all might have heard of, like the makers of Batu, like the makers of Drip. They are innovators. They come from Ekasi, like the owner, the inventor of Drip. He said, I had nothing to lose. He said, I had nothing, so I had nothing to lose. But he took his passion for fashion, and he tried until he knocked on a door that actually finally answered. And look where he is now. So with that, I want to leave you with one single thing. It's a poem that's been recited by Nelson Mandela, Maya Angelou. I love Maya Angelou. If you're a woman and you're not on Maya Angelou, you need to get on it. I feel like you'll wake up every day and you'll want to take on the world. But they've also mentioned it, but it's a poem that really resonates and makes me feel good about everything that I want to do, and because I still have dreams. I want to be an exec one day, you know. But our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? There is a silver lining in my story. I was sitting one day with my son. I have a 7-year-old. And I was just asking, you know, his name is Langa. And I'm like, Langa, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he's like, Mommy, I want to be Spider-Man. And I want to be a businessman. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he's like, Mommy, what did you want to be when you grew up? And I told him, like, no, Mommy wanted to go overseas and become a nanny and look after children. And then he said, well, guess what, Mommy, your dream came true. You're looking after me. Thank you.